In this video, we are talking about what to do if your 6-month-old is not rolling over yet. Make sure that you watch the whole video, maybe even more than once, because this is one of my favorite things to teach families to help their littles learn to roll both back to belly and belly to back. Hi, I'm Dr. Lauren Baker, a pediatric physical therapist, and on this channel, we provide mini masterclasses for proactive parents and providers to help them learn how to uncover what is blocking their children from meeting their milestones. Think of me as your pediatric physical therapy bestie, here to help you learn tips and tricks to help your children move better. In today's video, we are going over one of my number one favorite things to do with infants to help them uncover their movement blocks that are keeping them from rolling from back to belly as well as belly to back. One of the things that not very many people are teaching families is that mobility in the trunk can be blocking a little from moving their bodies. So in order to roll from our back to our belly, we have to be able to separate the top half of our body from the bottom half of our body, and that requires rotation. I like to educate on this channel that there are 3 planes for everyone, all humans to move in, including infants. We've got the forward, backwards plane, the side to side, and I'm a little teapot plane, and the rotation plane. The rotation plane is one of the biggest planes that we use for rolling, which is why a lot of children can be blocked with rolling because of trunk tightness. This can be done from newborn. I actually have a newborn movement screen that is linked above. When your baby though is getting really wiggly, it can be a little bit tough to get them to stay in one position. So if you have a 6 or a 7-month-old baby, you might need another person or a highly distractible toy to keep them a little bit calmer. We are going to show it on a 4-month-old baby. Your baby might be a little bit more mobile. If your baby's a little bit older, this will still work. I'll just show you at the end a different video that might be more beneficial to use as a treatment to improve the mobility if you find that one side is tighter than the other. In order for babies to roll, we need to be able to rotate the top half of our body in one direction while the bottom half of our body kind of stays in the opposite direction until it then follows our body over. It's kind of like when you take a wet rag and you go to wring it out, your hands are actually moving in different directions. The same thing happens when babies roll over. We need to be able to wring that dishcloth out or rotate and have the length in our bodies to be able to move from the left to the right so that babies can then roll over. If one part of our body, so say the bottom half of our body is my right hand, the top half of our body is my left hand. If the bottom half of my body doesn't move, I'm not gonna fully be able to wring out that dishcloth that could be blocking an infant from rolling over. The same goes if the top half of my body is tight and can't go in one direction or can't move in either direction. I'm not going to be able to really wring that dishcloth out or roll to that side. So we see this the most often in infants who maybe have a history of torticollis or maybe just struggled with tummy time, or everything was going fine, but rolling is just really difficult. One of the big things I love to educate families on is if your little is not rolling in all 4 directions by 6 months, a pediatric physical therapist is going to be the best thing to help them get jump started, uncover any movement blocks that they have. So if your infant is 6 months or older and they're struggling with rolling, having someone in person is going to be your best bet. If you watch this video till the end, I'll show you how to work directly with me to get jump started as well. If your infant is a little bit older or you're looking for all of the things to try to uncover and help your baby, maybe physical therapy clinics have a long wait list, or maybe you're just kind of a DIY proactive parent like all of the viewers on this channel and you just want to do a little bit more or get started as quickly as possible once you've recognized a problem and also identified a solution. The number one solution for babies to uncover all of their movement blocks, for the most comprehensive resource that we have, is my book, Tummy Time and Learning to Roll. It is literally my brain in paper form. It goes over all of the directions, being limited in upper trunk rotation to the left and what would happen potentially for a little in that situation. Upper trunk rotation to the right limitations, what would that look like? Which type of rolling would be easy? Which type of rolling would be hard? Over 250 photos for play positions, sideline play, tummy time, all of the things, and a bunch of different exercises, as well as a bonus online course with videos to help you really implement things, as well as checklists. Make sure that you check the link in the pinned comment as well as the description for a link for this book. One of the big things you want to look at is how far is that shoulder from the floor. Most of my babies who are not struggling with rolling at all and have that full range of that mobility, they are 1 finger width or less shoulder to floor on both sides. So if one shoulder is way up, then you're going to note that that side is tight. And if the other shoulder is going to the floor or within 1 finger width, then that side is going to be the easy side, the side that you have full range. Some babies are like a full hand from the shoulder to floor. You can like stick your whole hand underneath there. So here would be their shoulder and your whole hand is underneath there. Those babies are really tight. They really don't have any give in that rotation position, and that is really going to be blocking them. Some babies, they're tight 2 to 3 finger widths on both sides, and it's really hard to tell which one is easier for them. And so you kind of have to just pick one to treat and then see if that moves. Usually I go by how the baby looks. Are they comfortable in one position more so than the other? Does the movement of their trunk feel a little bit smoother going one direction or the other? And when we look at treatment for this, you always want to pick only the easy side, because this position is going based on the total motion release principles of strain, counter strain, where we shorten the tissue to let it relax, bring blood flow to the area, add in some vestibular components, and then increase mobility that way, as opposed to the traditional style of stretching, which can cause that resistance and cause babies to accidentally kind of resist that motion, making flexibility and mobility sometimes a little less effective. So I really like to use the TMR framework for my infant, but I don't demonize traditional stretching. I would just highly recommend, if you're working with an infant, to try the TMR method first, so that your likelihood of getting high and quicker results is better. We are going to look at how far shoulder comes off, and that's going to tell us how much his rotation is lacking on either side. I'm going to, really? Are you that excited to play? My hands are going to be in a C shaped, and I'm going to bring them underneath his bottom. So you can see my hands are kind of coming underneath here. Both my hands are on his bottom, and my fingers are in between his legs. Hi. And then you can test this motion first. This is called the posterior pelvic tilt, and babies need this in order to be able to grab their feet with both their hands. I'm going to start in this position, and I'm going to kind of bring him over. And so this hand is just resting on his shoulder just to see how much rotation he has. Does he relax in this position? Some babies won't relax in this position. So his right shoulder is coming up from the ground, and he's getting a little bit, oh, there we go. So I can just kind of bring that arm back. I'm not pushing this further than it goes. I'm just kind of letting him relax in that position. I might rest my hand. I might see if he can go any further, but not pushing against his resistance. And so we're just looking at the availability of the motion there. And then we're gonna say, hi, Pumpkin. How are you doing? Yeah, and then we're gonna do the other side. Again, I'm gonna kind of come in, tuck his bum up, and then I might switch hands. So right now my left hand is on his pelvis, and my right hand is on his left shoulder. Yeah, good job. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. And to me, he's much more willing to kind of relax on this left arm down, and that kind of swishes. Now, if he pushes out of it, I'm just kind of come in here and see. Hi. Can I hold this hand? Oh, look at that. Look at that. And so what you want to look at is one of the shoulders easier? Oh. You blowing me raspberries? Are you blowing me raspberries? And so I'm holding that a little bit long just so I can kind of get a feel to see which side feels easier to go. Hi. And he's able to get his shoulders pretty close to the floor, so he's not, so he's not really limited in either direction. But if one arm kind of really comes off, so you can see the right shoulder comes off a little bit more than the left shoulder does, but he is able to kind of relax into it. Yeah. What do you think? Oh, you're turning my watch. You're turning my watch. And then I'm gonna go to the other side. Yeah, but you can see here that this one relaxes way more. Oh, you spitting at me? With total motion release, you want to be able to relax the body by going into the easy direction, which is also usually the tight direction. So for him, I'm going to bring him with this left arm staying on the ground, and I'm going to bring his pelvis to the right, and we're just going to kind of play here. Hi, maybe we'll sing a song. And we're just gonna do it for 2 to 5 minutes. So I'll set a timer on my watch, or you can just kind of go to his tolerance and say, hi friend. Yeah, you're doing such a good job. Say, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. What do we think? What do we think, sweet boy? Yeah, did you do so good? Are you doing so good? You just relaxing? Are you just relaxing? Good work. You've done 1 minute and 15 seconds. You're doing so good. Are you so big? Are you such a big friend? Oh, you gonna kick me out of it? Are you gonna kick me out of it? Nom 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 nom. Get those feet. Nom 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 nom. Get those feet. So if they kick you out of it, I'm just gonna kind of pivot. Yeah. And hold him here. Yeah. Good work. Good job, that was 2 minutes. And so after the 2 minutes, you're gonna come up here and you're gonna hold him. And so he's around a little bit less than 4 months. And so you are gonna kind of hold him and you're just gonna bounce. Bounce, bounce, bounce. And you're gonna bounce for 30 seconds to a minute to really lock that in. So you can bounce while you're standing. So you can bounce them while you're sitting in a chair. You can bounce them, especially if they're doing good with head control, you can kind of bounce them out here. And the important part is you only want to do the easy direction. So after this, I'll show you the opposite side. Okay, and this is right rotation of his upper trunk because his right shoulder is going down to the ground and his bum is going to the left. Hi, If you do it on your kiddo and the right side is easier, basically you're gonna bring your hands underneath, tilt that pelvis to the right, and you are just gonna hold for 1 to 2 minutes. This opposite direction. Hi. Hi. Yeah, yeah, good job. Followed by 30 seconds of bouncing. Can we do it one more time to show the friends at home? You're pretty cute. So for him, I hold left rotation only because that's his easy side, but if your kiddo's easy side is to the right, then you would only hold this direction. There you go. So this would be right rotation. If this is the easy side, you'd hold that. If left rotation is the easy side, you'd hold that. Yeah, so you're naming it by the direction of the shoulders. Oh, is that right? And that's a wrap, friends. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn about TMR as well as how the trunk flexibility works with rolling, and to use this as an option for your infant if they are 6 months and not rolling yet. As a reminder, any infant 6 to 7 months who is not rolling yet, highly recommend reaching out to a pediatric physical therapist in order to get an evaluation in person with your child. That's gonna be your best bet. But for families who have questions and would like to work with me one-on-one, you can find a link to an online parent consultation in the pinned comment. It's a 60-minute online secure video chat with me where we can really talk about your concerns and find the best next steps for you, or try to narrow down, okay, let's try a couple of these exercises first based on kind of what your infant specifically is experiencing. As a reminder for all my proactive families out there who are looking for a resource, check out Tummy Time and Learning to Roll. It is my brain and paper to help proactive families really solve movement blocks, especially with tummy time and rolling, so that infants have a strong base on which to build their little lives. Now, if you have an older kiddo or you're just looking for a different option for treatment, make sure you check this video out next, because it is going to have an option you can do while you're standing up that is still gonna work on releasing any rotation and trunk tightness restrictions. As a reminder, even with this one, you're gonna do only the easy side, even though it's a little bit counterintuitive to families.